Hello everyone. Now we will take a look at a few attributes of Romanticism. Imagination has been the primary characteristic of all the Romantic poets. It is imagination which leads to the production of great works of art. When we compare William Shakespeare and Alexander Pope, Shakespeare is great because his works are the product of imagination, whereas Pope is not as great as Shakespeare as his works are deficient in imagination. Thus, imagination is the primary characteristic of all the Romantic poets. Romantic poets explored nature. They often wrote about the beauty and importance of nature in their poems. Even the neoclassical poets also wrote about nature. Romantic poets looked at nature from a different point of view. In fact, William Wordsworth, the famous Romantic poet, said that nature can be a guide, friend and philosopher. According to Wordsworth, nature can take many different forms. It can give life and can also take life. When we talk about nature, we cannot forget John Keats' to Autumn. Where are the songs of spring? Where are they? Think not of them. Thou hast thy music too. The poem begins with Keats addressing autumn as a personified figure and talking about its abundance and richness. He tells us that autumn is a season of harvest, season of fruits, as well as you can hear the sound of animals preparing for winter. He also draws a distinction between mortality as well as immortality. Supernaturalism is a special theme which has been handled by all the Romantic poets. The Romantic poets felt that there was something which existed beyond this physical world which we can call as supernaturalism. The best examples for supernaturalism can be found in Coleridge's most famous poems, The Rime of the Ancient Mariner and Kubla Khan. The poets of the Romantic era did not turn away from the darker side of supernaturalism. In point of fact, many poets were interested in such mysterious surroundings, especially supernatural elements. So, you can observe the supernatural elements, especially in Gothic novels, where we can find haunted castles, strange surroundings, mysterious atmosphere, which creates a feeling of terror in the readers. Most of the poets explore the contrast between life and death. Romantic poets like William Wordsworth and Samuel Taylor Coleridge wrote in simple language as far as possible. They felt that by writing in simple language, they could reach even the hearts of common men. They avoided using highly technical terms, highly exaggerated language. Their main aim was their poetry should reach the hearts of million people. The poets of the Romantic era felt that children should be allowed to have a pure and happy childhood. This can happen only when children are left to play freely. At the time, there was industrial revolution and many little children were forced to work in factories, mines as well as chimney sweeps. The famous essayist Charles Lamb wrote an essay called The Praise of Chimney Sweepers, in which he throws a romantic light on the little children who cleaned those great chimneys of industrial England. Sublime is a special quality. When we see something very beautiful or powerful in nature, we feel a sense of wonder, a sense of excitement and a sense of pleasure. That special feeling is known as sublime. The poets of the Romantic era focused on the idealization of women. They felt that women were pure, faithful creatures who need to be respected. And they wrote their poems admiring the beauty as well as showing their respect towards women. Romantic poets often wrote about their personal feelings and emotions in poetry. Wordsworth's famous poem, I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud, also known as Daffodils, where the poet expresses his state of pleasure by seeing a field of daffodils. He tells us how the sight of daffodils made his heart dance with glee. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills. 10,000 saw I at a glance, and then my heart with pleasure fills. Rebellion. The Romantic poets rebelled against the established norms, rules and regulations which existed in society. They wanted to bring a change in society. The well-known Romantic poet William Blake revolted against the negative effects of industrialization. The Romantic poets saw an aesthetic beauty. They appreciated beauty in each and everything they saw. Not only nature, but they appreciated people as well. This was especially true in case of women. Writers of the Romantic era appreciated women for their natural loveliness and beauty. A classic example is Lord Byron's poem She Walks in Beauty. She walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies, and all that's best of dark and bright meet in her aspect and her eyes.